Okay, this might be a little difficult since I haven't done this in a while, and I usually when I attempt to do this, I have help from Rob, the 741 channel, so that he can monitor the chat while I'm babbling or vice versa. The solar flux index has, I don't know what it is this morning, I forgot to check, but yesterday it was over 150. But the A index, which you want to be low, like 1 or 2, was at 11. So that means there was potentially a lot of noise. Now, I'm going to jump back and forth between this, which is SDR Uno. I'm using my RSP Duo with my Megaloop antenna. I'm going to jump back and forth between this and the view of my stream, and so I can see what's going on. I'm down in my work shack, whatever you want to call it. Was garage. I was never able to use the garage because it's too small, so I immediately converted into a workshop / shack. So let me do that. Let me go back to the other screen, and you'll see the other screen temporarily, so that I can see it, because I don't have, down here right now, I don't have 2 computers or 2 monitors working. Oh, speaking of Rob, there's 741 in the chat. That's amazing. And there's Greg. Greg is one of the ones that's been requesting that I try to do a live show. Again, I didn't schedule it. I just thought, since supposedly shortwave conditions are good, let's see if I can do a live show unannounced. And you could, if you're not watching this live, you can watch it later. So either Rob or both of you, or Greg, please let me know how the video and the audio is doing, because I have no idea, since I don't have another computer set up to monitor what I'm doing. I'm going to take a little drink of my iced tea. And we're going to attempt to listen to shortwave. And if you have any comments, please leave them in the chat. It may take me a while to get back to them, because I'm trying to just switch between 2 screens on 1 monitor. I should have taken the time to set up another computer, which I have multiple computers in this room, but I just jumped in here and said, let's try it. I didn't even know if I could get it working again, because YouTube has made a lot of changes to streaming. Okay, thanks, Rob. All right, so we're going to move on now that Rob has told me that everything sounds good and looks good. So let's go back to SDR Uno. And then I'll ask one more time. Let me go back. I'll ask one more time, how does this look? I've got it muted. Let me unmute it. Tell me how the audio is from my SDR. Okay, this is WWV at 5 megahertz. And you can see there's 2 broadcasts, one from Colorado and one from Hawaii. I could barely hear either voice. Now I can hear something. Audio. Let me up the gain on the RF. That helped for a little bit. Turn the audio up a little bit. pretty weak, surprisingly. Although it looks like a good signal, but look at all this noise. Okay, I could hear the male voice that time. Okay, let me go back temporarily to the stream and see if I got any responses on how this is doing. Let me go back. Okay, Rob says the SDR audio is good. Okay, so we can continue on. Oh, thanks, Greg. Again, I just, let me go back over here. Now why is that missing? Okay, let's try that again. There we go, it filled in. I don't have anything here, so that's why you're seeing what's behind this screen. And I've got the module or plug-in called, let me mute this. I got the plug-in called Fran running, and that gives you all these IDs from a database. So it gives you some idea what you're listening to. So you can see all these marks here for WWV. So the other thing I'm going to try to do, let's see what the CPU is doing. It's kind of hanging in there. This gives you an indication of the CPU usage. It's both for this program, SDR, and overall. And of course, I'm running the streaming software, plus I'm running the YouTube software and SDR. SDR Uno. And so I'm really taxing the computer, but it seems to be holding in there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to go to this other web page, short-wave.info, and see if I can get to the top here. I'll do a refresh, and I'll say that you can't do both any station and any language. You got to do one or the other. So I'm going to say English. So that's going to limit the list, and this will give you a listing of all the shortwave stations that are broadcasting right now. So it automatically includes the time because I've clicked the now button, and I'm going to say go. It's going to update, and then it's going to show me all the stations that are broadcasting right now in English, hopefully. Okay, and there is a ton of them, especially right here. Look at this. Okay, so now the other thing you can do with this website, this is a website, again, short-wave.info is a website. You can come over here and click on the little diamond next to the remarks, or you can do it by frequency or language. Since we only got English, we don't need to sort by language. So we'll sort here, and what it's doing is it's sorting by the possible strongest signal to meet where I'm located. Let me show you on the map here. So you have to put in your location. There's mine right there. And then if I sort by signal strength, you can see the signal strength indicators here. And here's WRMI, of course, out of Okeechobee, Florida, which is near me, so it's going to be the potential strongest signal. You got Radio Romania in there, so let's try. Ooh, that's up pretty high in frequency. Normally it's 7:20 in the morning that I'm doing this recording, and normally in the morning I don't do too good above 9 megahertz. But this claims I should be able to. Let's try it, 15.5 0.770. So now I go back to my radio and I go to 15. There's a better way of doing this. This is just the way I do it. 770. And let's show if it shows up on the listing. No, actually it doesn't show up on this listing, but this listing, the database I'm using is quite old. Matter of fact, it's almost a year old. So let's just see what we can hear. We might be able to hear, well, there is a signal there. It's pretty weak. Let's just unmute. Whoa, lots of noise. Yeah. I can hear something really weak, but it's not Radio Romania. Okay, we'll mute that. Let's go back to the chat. Again, this is a little difficult with one person running the stream. Let's see what we got. Guy. Hi, Guy. I read that there is a solar storm today. Yeah, I was afraid of that. I saw something yesterday predicting a storm today, and it looks like there is. Hey, Sonny, thanks for stopping by. So we could be out of luck this morning. We could, it could be just too much noise. Let me see if I can go to do a search on solar flux index. Help if I typed it right, but it guessed. This is a great website for getting information about solar conditions. This is the WM7D's website. And let's see, he says, as of March 31st, that's today, it's still 151. The A index, which is one that's bothering us, is still high. It's an 8. And the K index now has moved up to a 4. So those are the two indicators of background noise. So let's just go down here real quick. And yeah, see I think it's the blue line. This one right here is way up there. And then the red line is the solar flux index. I think there's a better graph here. So even though we got a great solar flux index, we got all that noise. That's what we're struggling with right now. Okay, let's go back here. Excuse me. Hey, Greg, if I planned for a live chat, I wouldn't do it. my schedule is so crazy that I mean, it would really disappoint people, because I would schedule one and then I wouldn't show up, and I don't want to do that. I'd rather just do it instantaneous. And of course, if you didn't get to see it live, you can watch it later. Trying to schedule a chat live show just ain't gonna happen. I was doing it with Rob, and that way I would force myself to be there on time. I even missed one with Rob, but he's been super busy, so we used to do one a month, but not at any specific time. What we would schedule it like 3 days in advance, and it would work out great. And I would just force myself, don't schedule anything else, don't have to go to the doctor or something like that. And it worked out pretty good. But Rob's been really busy at work. We haven't had a chance to do that, but we'll do it eventually. Sonny, what link did you want? There's a little delay here in when I see your chats. after you posted it. So let me know. Yeah, see, I agree with you 100%, 741. It's just really difficult to commit to a scheduled stream. So I struggle with the same problem, although my problem is different than Rob's. Rob's busy with work and other things like that, family stuff. Okay, let's move on. Let me see if I can figure out what Sonny's quest was as far as the link. I think he meant the link to the web page with the solar information. I'll give both. Okay, we'll go to this one, this is short. There's the link right there. Short-wave.info. It's all lowercase, and you get this page here, and it's showing you information from the latest shortwave database, and you can have it provided, that information, in different manners. You can come up here and you can have it search on a particular station or a particular language, which is what I did. You can tell it to do it right now, what shows are on right now, or you can unclick this and put in a specific time. So if you can plan ahead and say you want to watch or listen to shortwave tonight, you can put in that time. It will give you the listing of what's going to be on the air at that time. You can write that down or just keep it up on your computer so you can use it as a reference. Or if you're listening to your radio and just scanning the bands and you find a station, you can put in the exact frequency, plus, per my request, you can have it give you the frequency plus or minus 5 kilohertz, and click on the now, and it will tell you what stations are on that frequency right now, or if you use this option, the frequencies plus or minus 5 kilohertz. Or a new one he added last year was pick a particular band. So you got to drop down here and you can pick a band. Like I like the 31 meter band in the afternoon, and in this band right here, the 49 meter band, in the mornings. And so I could just do this real quick. We'll pick the 49 meter band. We'll say now, we'll click on that, and then it gives you the listing. In this case, it's any language, any station, any language. And then once again, you can use the diamond here to sort for the strongest signals to your location. And of course, here's two that are in Okeechobee, so they're going to be the strongest to me. Some in Nashville, Tennessee, that is going to be strong to me. So that's one web page I was showing you. This is the other one with the graphs, which are updated constantly. This is WM7D, which you can just you can just search on WM7D and you'll find this. The link is wm7d.net/hamradio/solar/. Or like I say, the easiest thing is just do a search on WM7D. And this is all kinds of solar information graphs, and it's updated constantly, so this is all new data. And then he has a bunch of good links here for other solar data, other websites. Okay, I hope that answers the question. Let me go back and check the stream. Oh my gosh, we've got lots of comments. Sorry I'm not keeping up with the comments. Let's see here. 740 what? I can't, okay, we got that. The link that you just talked about. Hopefully I just gave you the links that you needed there, Sonny. Okay, thanks for stopping by, Rob. Always good to hear from you. Yeah, okay. Sonny, I gave you the other one too. It took me a while before I quit babbling about the first one. Hi, Andy. You're welcome, Sonny. You're welcome, Sonny. Hey, Richard. We're just doing a quick... Whoop, I just dropped my microphone. That'll certainly mess things up. I keep breaking my little lapel microphones. I forget to take them off, and it just... The little clip that clips onto your shirt breaks off. All right, let's go on. Where are we? Okay, let me... Oh, okay. Let's go back to the radio. Let me tell you a little bit for the people that just came on. I'm down in my workshop. I've got my RSP Duo SDR radio hooked up to my Megaloop antenna. It's 7:30 here in Clearwater, Florida in the morning. And we are trying to learn how to talk, going to scan the bands. But you can see, and this is the beauty of an SDR, you see what's going on the signals. Look at, it looks like confetti. Look at all this noise. Now, I'm not an expert at using filters in this program, but we just attempt to use some filters and see if I can get rid of all that noise, because I got the noise blanker turned off. We're going to turn it on here. Watch the graph. It had no effect whatsoever. Let's try again. Try this one. Nope, we're not getting rid of that noise. So let's turn it back off. If you have any suggestions, one thing that I think Jills uses is he will, even though he's listening to an AM broadcast, as far as mode, he will go to sideband. And sometimes that will clean things up a little bit. We just do that real quick. Nope, boy, that noise just won't go away. Let's go back to AM. I noticed, and you're seeing it too, you should be seeing it. I noticed I have this little section that I don't have anything in as far as the SDR Uno software. But I can see now the chat scrolling up. And so what I could do, if I can grab it, can I grab that? Yeah, I can grab that. I can move this over here, and then I can see the chat. That's, okay, I learned something new today. Thanks, Rick. I'm not any expert, that's for sure. Oop, I didn't mean to do that. Let's go back here. Okay, so I've got to remember that one thing I can do when I'm doing a live show so that I can see the chat kind of real time is move this over, and then that gives me this little window here where the chat can, which is in the background, I can see. Okay, that's a good point, Andy. Let me, because I had turned it, oh shoot, I hate when I do that. That's one, oh my gosh, okay. That's one thing kind of weird that I enjoyed to haven't figured out, different subject, is when you, at least the Fran plug-in, when you load that, that screen sometimes gets up there in your way. It's down here. I'm talking about this plug-in screen. Sometimes it shows up, as you saw a few seconds ago, and it's in your way. I don't know how. And if you click on, where'd it go? It's down here someplace. If you click on this little button here to minimize it, it minimizes the whole program. So still haven't figured out how to do that correctly. Okay, as suggested by Andy, I could turn the RF gain down. Now I had it low, or I had it about medium when I started, but the signals were kind of weak, so I cranked it up. So let's crank it back down about there and see how the noise does. Yeah. See, the noise is still there, bad. It's really bad, bad, bad. Now, according to Fran, and since I moved this over, it's a little harder to read. Let me zoom out a little more. There. So, and I really need to turn off, and I don't know how. Oh, settings. Okay, let me turn this off because I'm getting too much clutter here. Where is it? Show S meter, maybe? Yeah, that helps. Close that now. Now I can read these labels a little better. And it says the frequency I'm on, which is 15.77, I should be getting WRMI in Miami or the Overcomer. As I mentioned at the beginning, in the mornings, I don't receive very well anything above 9 megahertz. Hey, Jeff. There's Jeff King that helps me out a lot. Thanks for stopping by, Jeff. So let's go back down to below 9 megahertz. Matter of fact, let's start back down at WWV again. That's where I started. There we go. So we got a pretty good signal there. Let's listen to it for a few seconds. Pretty noisy. Okay, I could hear, let me mute this. I could hear the female voice very dim. And that's the female voice is coming out of Hawaii. That's a pretty good trip. The male voice, which is in Colorado, I could hear pretty good, but the noise level is still really high. All this confetti is noise. Okay, now let's go back to here, back to shortwave, and whoops, I didn't mean to zoom in. Okay, let's go to any station in English right now. Okay, now instead of having it sort by signal strength, let's leave it in frequency mode, and let's go down here and see what we can find down around 5 megahertz that I could possibly hear. Now here is Solomon Islands 5020. So let's try that one. (5020), and nope, there's nothing there. But this is a huge one. This is probably, and I don't know how to pronounce it, this is the Radio Rebelda. I think that's in south of me, south of Florida, which is normally pretty strong. We just tune that, and we'll unmute it. Whoa! Yes! Sorry about that. That's a good signal. We'll mute that. Just playing music. Okay, let's go back. Was that in the listing? I don't think it was. Maybe it was. 5020. Nope, it wasn't in the listing. That's one thing about that I've noticed about some of these Spanish stations is they don't register, and so they're not in the database. Okay, let's move down here. And also on this web page, they highlight another thing I requested. They highlight in red stations that, again, possibly you could receive. But these are really weak. See, it's only got like one dot and a signal streak indication. Now there's a strong one there. Oh, that's WRMI. Yeah, I should receive that. Nothing exciting there. WWCR, that's close to me. Another WWCR, close to me. Another WRMI. China radio. Let's see if we can get China radio. Now, for me, my location, the best time for me to hear China radio out of Beijing is this time of day. 5.955. Let's go for it. Let's see if there's a possibility. 5, 9. I know there's a faster way to do this. 5, I believe I said. And there's something there. Well, unmute. Really weak. Whoa. Yep, not making it. Got this monster signal here from probably WRMI out of Miami. I can hear some. Let me shut up, let you listen. I think that's it, but it's just really down in the mud. Let me increase the RF gain. There it is. Make sure I got the right frequency. Five 955, yep. Not doing too good. Let me go back to the stream. All right, let's see. Let me mute that. See, here's this pop-up. It shows up, and if I try to minimize it, this is the listing of plugins. If I try to minimize it, it minimizes the whole program. So I don't want to do that. Let's mute this. Then we'll take a look at the stream here. Jeff said he was up early enough to get Radio New Zealand. Try it on USB. Okay, I'll try it, Andy. That's like I said before. That's what Jill's does sometimes. Let's unmute it. Oh. Nothing. That didn't work. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Got squelch turned off. Yeah, that didn't help. That made it worse. Maybe I'm overdriving it. Let me turn the RF gain down. Nope, that didn't help. Let's go back to AM. Now I've lost I've lost the audio. Oh, it's really weak. Wow. Okay, let's try a couple more stations and then we'll wrap this up. Let me see, where are we at? Where are we at here? I'm going to go back here and see what else is a possibility. Oh, the mosquitoes are in here. Well, if you live in Florida, the mosquitoes are out. Trying to find one that's marked in red. That means I have a possibility of listening to it. Let's try Radio New Zealand on 6115. Let's just try that for the heck of it. No. Really down in the mud. Let me go back and change to the streaming so I can see the comments at the same time. That's okay, Holy Woolly Unaware. Nice handle. That's okay because I didn't schedule it again. As I mentioned before, I just know Rob and myself, Rob 741 channel, myself, we struggle to schedule things in advance. Our lives are so hectic. I don't want to disappoint people by scheduling something and then not showing up. I'd rather just do it instantaneous. So that's why I do it instantaneous. Because if you miss it live, you can always watch it later. All right, let me see what we're doing here. Okay, now I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to, where it went, I'm going to just look at the spectrum here and look for strong signals around where I'm at. Not too many strong signals. I mean, they're there, but they're kind of in the mud. I don't know if... I definitely got my antenna hooked up, and the amplifier for the antenna, which is the Mega Loop, is turned on, and I'm on A. That's the antenna it's connected to, so that's all good. There's China Radio there. Let's try that. No. It's almost like the radio is not changing frequencies. Because I got the volume way up and I'm barely hearing anything. Okay, I'm going to try something. This program does have a few quirks. And they haven't come out with, that I know of, an updated version in quite a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shut it down and start it up again and see if that helps. Sometimes that helps. So we're going to close this down. So it's shutting down now. It takes a while. Plus, you know, I've got a lot of stuff running. I've got, you know, the stream. I got the web page. So maybe I'm just bogging my computer down. So we'll crank it up again. And there I was, 6180, and we'll start it. Oh yeah, that looks better. Okay. Wow, look at it. No, let me, whoa, turn that audio down. Like I say, that's one thing that I've noticed with SDR Uno. Sometimes, especially if you're overtaxing your computer, it can get behind and just get lost. So you have to restart it. So now we can see a bunch of big signals here. This time of the morning, which is it's almost 8 o'clock, so it's getting kind of late in the morning. I usually get stations around between 5 megahertz and 7 megahertz. You can see there's a bunch around 6 megahertz, and they're probably close by. So let's zoom out a little bit. one right here. Sounds like data. Yeah, that's data. Let's slide down the band. Not finding it. There's one.
País La Habana. El secretario general del Comité de la Votación en la Casa Guantanamera de Ciencia y Progreso, Yasmani Reyes Castañeda, dijo que las acciones se planifican. Representa esta mayor isla de las Antillas.
That's probably Radio Habana. So now I've got a frequency here. Let me mute this. So let's search on 6.405. So we go to here, short-wave, and we go up to the top, and we can plug in 6405. I believe that's what it was. And we can say now what's on that frequency, and it says there's nothing. Let's go back and see if I had it correct. 6405. Is that what I had? 6405. Yeah, that's what I had. So here's a case where, as I mentioned before, some of these Spanish stations don't register, and so they're not in the database, so short-wave.info won't show it as in the database. Now, one other thing I can try is I'll reload Fran, and it's going to ask me for a database. I don't have a new database file. This one is over a year old. I need to update that and see what it shows. Okay, it does show something. We'll zoom in. Let's see. I don't recognize any of those. Okay. All right, let me look at the chat one more time. Wherever that went. That's over here. Got 13 people that showed up for my unannounced. Stand by, I just dropped my microphone. Okay, Sonny, thanks for stopping by. Oh, Andy informed it that station I was listening to a few minutes ago that sounded like data. He says that's a number station, which broadcasts numbers. All it broadcasts supposed to be coded messages. All right, I think we're going to wrap this up. It's unfortunate that the noise level is so high. We got a good high solar flux index number of 151, but look at all this noise. All this confetti is noise. And so the stations are really struggling to come through. So I'm going to wrap it up. I want to thank everybody for watching. The key things, and I'll show you on the database, on the website again. This is a great website right here. Just do a search on, let me get to the top, WM7D. It's constantly being updated. This has a lot of information on solar flux. And at the very top here, it tells you what the present solar flux is. This was updated today, 151. But it also tells you the A index and the K index. And we want those to be low because they cause noise. And as one person mentioned early in the stream, a solar storm is predicted for today. And it must be going on right now. And then, of course, he has these graphs. And you can see what the solar flux has done. It's jumped way up. But also the A and K index is jumped up, which is not good. So that's it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please give me a thumbs up. That tells me I'm doing shows that you're interested in and I'm not wasting your time. And have a great day. Bye-bye. Oops. I'm a little rusty on you doing live streams, you can tell. Okay, we're going to end the stream. Thanks everybody for stopping by. Bye-bye.